Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the today's Hindu analysis. So this Sunday covering the news of 23 Feb 2025. Today's more facts about science editorials and less editorials. So let's have a recap what we are going to cover today. So there are more science editorials. So stay tuned till the last. It will going to be amazing, interesting, and have a it's a weekend recap also. So let's have starting with the 8 trapped in Telangana tunnel rescue efforts on. Manipur see a rising support for push surrender weapons and hopefully gets India invites in the first half of its year. Nepal foreign minister. Second is about continuing to the second article related to that. Third article is about IBN ministry plans for to regulate the digital content. Sakti Dan's appointment as a principal secretary 2 p.m. Fourth article on the pleas of from parents and students Eklavya school to go to English medium from class 9. Fifth is archaeologists find a 1.4 meter tall Buddha head in Odisha, says dig is only getting started. Sixth is related to the science and science editorials about why the states asked to use untested AI tool for TB screening, and also about the small corner news going to cover as a science facts that is in the current affairs. Seventh one is about why India is dilemma over a fighter jets and quantum phenomena. So related to defense and also a science related current affair. Eighth one is about why the three language policy is controversial. And the last slide covering about the dreams of 20 lakh families to have their own house fulfilled under PMY Shah. DRDO indigenous submarine plan to go approval in a few months. So these all are the news that we are going to cover. So let's start with the thought by beautifully quoted by the APJ Abdul Kalam sir that it's excellent is a continuous process, not an accident. So basically you become excellent in anything if you do hard work, continuous process. It's a continuous every day just you learn new thing and at the one day you become excellent in this. So it is not an accident but it's a continuous efforts and the hard work that you are going to pay off. So let's start in the Hindus editorial. The 8 trapped in Telangana tunnel rescue efforts on. So this is a tragic incident that happened in the Telangana. The Telangana eight people were trapped in the Telangana tunnel, and the 8 persons were trapped 40 kilometers side. This is a construction tunnel of Sri Lam. It's Sri Shalam Left Bank Canal project. The project that was ongoing there. So there is a roof collapse on Saturday morning in Nagarkul district of Telangana. So the 13 workers came as sustained injuries and 8 persons were trapped there. There is a total 29 workers. Out of tunnel, the help of another 29 workers escaped unhurt. So those who trapped the 2 engineers from Uttar Pradesh, 2 technical staff members from Jammu Kashmir and the 4 from the Jharkhand. So there is no headway made between rescue and even the 3 teams national disaster and DRF. Basically, which team is acting there for it's NDRF. Sorry, my stylus is not working. So what's happening there? I think. I have chosen this circular mark so that it is begin not able to write. So let's start. NDRF has the NDRF National Response Disaster Response Force from Hyderabad reached their site. The authorities are making the turn. Those who trapped were identified. These are the names that Manoj, Project Engineer Srinivas. These are the persons that involved there. So the NDRF and the experts from army handled the similar incident in Uttarakhand a couple of years ago, and they are expected to have arrived late night. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi and called of Telangana Chief Minister A. Revan Reddy offered to all assistance. So there must read about the NDRF. There is a background. What is the how the body is made, and what were the when it is implemented. So next is about the Hope Oli in India invited in the first half of year. Nepal Foreign Minister. So Nepal here is invitations from its Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to visit India. So Nepali Foreign Minister, it's Arzu Debuna said on the Saturday, and she hopes that Oli and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will invite on the sidelines of BIMSTEC. We will read detail about BIMSTEC and SAARC organizations. So her comment indicate a strain in the ties over the unusual delay in the hosting the Nepali. So the incident that take place in the KIT University at the when Nepali student committed suicide. So that news become that international level, and there is also so their meeting is basically compromises for the meeting of Nepali PM and our Prime Minister. So this detail we'll discuss in the second page also. Second is about the Manipur sees a rising support from push to the surrender weapons. So the Kuki Zomi community in the Churachandrapur district of Manipur surrendered 60 looted there, and the Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla. The weapons include AK rifles, Barrett grenade, launchers, gelatin sticks, surrender, and the CPRF and Manipur police. So they are said in statement that agencies are organized a series of meeting of local community, an act of surrender of weapons in the hill and valley areas is likely to result in further state. So they are the looted tear gas guns and Catch King and Kankopi districts. The district maybe the news is not properly covered. I have just clicked the. So on 20, the governor appealed to people from all communities. Ethnic violence hit the state to surrender. So these are the uses. So moving to the next is about the Nepal PM Oli hoping for invitation. So here's the Foreign Minister Aju Deva Rana on Saturday said. So there is an upcoming BIMSTEC meeting that is going to organize in Bangkok in April. So BIMSTEC stands for, I've already mentioned here. So BIMSTEC stands for the Bay of Bengal Initiative in a multi-sectoral and technical and economical cooperations. The organization started in 1997 on the Bangkok declarations also, and first it was held in Thailand also. These consist of five countries, but now including two more countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and two includes it's Myanmar and Thailand. So basically there is a two organization at the South Asian countries like SAARC and BIMSTEC. But SAARC we are not continuing with the SAARC because there is a Pakistan country included in it, and they just denied all the all the plans that India made. So we just discontinue to the SAARC, and we just keep the meeting in the BIMSTEC for their South Asian development, and India is the main leader there. So basically they the BIMSTEC basically help for they work on the policies like trade, technical policies, and also the tourism, and these all that the basically the bilateral relations were also worked here about the trade, technical, transport in the countries that to improve their advancement also. So the here about so there is an Indian PM Mr. Oli traveled to the Beijing in November 2024, but the thing is about that they already met with the China. The Nepal country PM already met with the China in 2024 for their in Beijing 2000, which believed that further broadened the divide. So there's a strained ties in Delhi and Kathmandu over Modi's government unusual lays in hosting Delhi, and there is a issues including on quantity control clearances for Nepali good, progress on hydropower projects, longer pending resolutions over flight rights for Nepali airports at Pokhara and Bharwa. So here the Prime Minister agreed on a specific date for Mr. Oli to travel in India. Mrs. Rana said he would visit whenever he is invited. India's no invitation has been offered so far. So they are there's a delay in traditional invitations. The countries that do invitations and they talk about the all the countries' bilateral relations, also on the trade policies, anything. So the China's Mr. Rana dismissed the suggestion that India is stemmed from the Mr. Oli visit to China, and there is an announcement of framework agreement for Belt Road Initiative copper. So they talked with the China already. The Nepal had talked about China for Belt Road Initiative corporations, and they saying that India has not objected for any China's BRI projects for infrastructure thus far. So India opposes the BRI, although many South Asian neighbors are a part of network. So confirming that India has raised the objection for bringing hydropower from projects run by China onto cross-border South Asian energy grid. And Mr. Rana said matter has been resolved as there has been enough river basin projects from different agencies. So there is already a hope for a possible win-win solution to this issue of overflight rights. India has thus far not cleared the overflights foreign airlines wishing travel to Nepali airports, Pokhara and its Bharagwa Siddharth Nagar, ostensibly due to security reasons. So now moving to the next article is about IB Ministry plans to regulate the digital content. So the show about India's Got Latin, that was already in controversy, and the many that is the cases arising at the so much level that it's called legal and harmful. So IBN Ministry has statutory provisions for need for new legal framework to regulate the harmful content on digital platform. Already the IB Ministry has a control on the OTT platforms for any any content that is there should be a categories of age based content, and content should be in the limitations of they do not include any censorship that violates the. So here is the platform indicating the government to move the sharpen its vigilance over the following outcry of Ranbir Lahabadia comments on YouTube program. So in the constitutional of the right here its reply to parliamentary panel community over the issue that ministry said the concerned society's constitutional right of freedom of expression is being misused to showcase the obscene and violent content on digital platforms. The standing committee on a communication and information technology headed by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, while in certain current growing demand for stricter legal framework regulate to such a harmful content. So the ministry has taken a note for development and provision of need for legal framework. So here the regulating digital content is standing committee is formed on a communication information technology, which has a growing concern of freedom of expression misused to showcase the obscene and violent content. While the certain provision under the current law, there is a growing demand for stricter and effective legal framework to harmful content. So basically there is a two content viewer type of people. Firstly, the people that want that strict laws and rules are made and the strict punishment is given to that person, and there is a laws that second media that says that there is a misuse of freedom of speech and expression, but the laws should be not be so stricter that person is not even to express the use the freedom of their speech, and the laws should not be stricter. There should be a committee made you can just there should be a restrictions on certain things, but not to that much level that it like it just there is imposing of freedoms of speech and anything else. So the member here about the ministry court, Supreme Court, many high courts, MPs, statutory boards and national commissions, women had spoken on issues after Lahabadia comment on drew wide condemnations. So the top court flagged the vacuum in law, and when it comes on a content platform such as YouTube, the kinds of things are going on. The ministry told the panel that it would submit a detailed note after the deliberation. Committee asked the ministry of about the amendments needed in law to clamp down controversies still the wake of emergence technologies and media platform. So, unlike conventional print and electronic content, new media services such as OTT, over the top platform, or YouTube have regulatory legal framework. While there is a view of some quarters that authorities made new provisions to the censure content, extraneous reasons, strengthening, and though the amendment has been made existing. So while the podcaster Mr. Lavadia's pleas for relief for having registration FIR against him, and top would we would like to do something with the governor of India is willingly to do, very happy otherwise. So ministry also issued advisory of OTT platform to asking them to strictly adhere the code of ethics and under the IT rules 2021 while publishing the contents. So there should be a code of platform of ethics uh, should be taken action, and there should be punishment and the violation of code of ethics by platform. Self-regulatory bodies of OTT platform to take appropriate proactive actions. So next is about the Shaktikant Das appointed the principal secretary 2 p.m. So Shaktikant Das is our former RBI governor, has appointment as a principal secretary to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he is a 1998 batch IS officer. So this is a diverse field of the field of IS. So here the Mr. Das served as a RBI governor from 2018 to 23, a crucial period for Indian economy along the uncertainty causes the COVID-19 pandemic. His appointment is seen as the Prime Minister PMO, and his financial management expertise certain geo-economic situation prevailing in the country. So Mr. Das, Tamil Nadu IS officer 9080 batch, it's 9080 batch, will work alongside the principal secretary who is continuing his post, and the rare level has been rare under the Mr. Modi former principal secretary one. It's Niripendra Mishra, and the post only after he has served the whole term from 2014 to 19, and PK Mishra has been serving as the additional principal secretary for past decades. Mishra's superannuation, he became principal secretary. So next is about on the pleas of a parent and students, Eklavya school to go English medium from the class 9. So basically, Eklavya Model Residential Schools, its EMRS, is started for the Scheduled Tribe Society students, and National Education Society for Tribal Students (NEST) has issued a circular introducing English medium instruction for all Eklavya Model Schools, residential schools from class 9 beginning from the next academic session 25-26. So this is going to be started from the session 25-26 as an English medium from class 9 as a parents and the National Society has issued a circular. So the schools advised to organize the training sessions, workshops, provided a supplemental learning material to facilitate the effective implementation of this change, and EMRS has been sent to government to provide a quality education to students belonging to scheduled tribes, while the Eklavya schools, these are implemented in states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, and some Chhattisgarh say that they have a following English medium, and those in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Jharkhand are using Hindi as a medium of their instruction. So these states are going to implement. So what is challenging transition here? Like some of teacher, principal, district official in Rajasthan and Jharkhand told that English would be a challenging task that might take a 3 to 4 year to take effect. There was a huge aspirations among parents to see their children a global language like English. So English as a global languages, they should be there's a writer is telling that the Rajasthan government teachers telling to writer that it can be challenging, but for at a global language at English there should be like it transferred to the students so that they compete at a national level, also at a global level. So they are highlighted not all EMS had a teacher who could teach in English. The circular issued on NEST said it was introducing English medium as instruction across such schools to bring uniformity, enhance the academic standard also, and professional prospects all EMRS students. It will help to better prepare for competitive exams, broaden their access to university. So these are the advantages of where English remains the primary language of instructions. So next is about, so archaeologists find a 1.4-meter tall Buddha head in Odisha, says the dig is going to start. So there is the questions from the art and culture. What are the archaeologist excavations and as a current affair? So it's 1.4-meter tall Buddha head in Odisha is found. Let me just go to that news. It's a state news about Odisha. So question can be asked as a current affair from state PCS. So it's a Buddha head. It is found in Ratnagiri. Is the largest Buddha head in Ratnagiri is largest ever found in India, says expert, and it's a votive stupas. It's a votive stupas and were considered to be sacred offering in Buddhism were found. So the Ratnagiri Buddhist heritage site in Odisha, Jaipur district, to unearth the remnants of history still lay hidden beneath the vermex, but was, as the sixth decade would shed a new light. As the day passes, relics were gradually revealed and a fixed cakes was. Ratnagiri is no stranger to Buddha sculpture made of khondalite stone. The questions can be asked: what is stone is used there? It's a khondalite stones. Here is written there. It's khondalite stone, and dozens of carving has been unearthed in area, but where the experts measured the massive Buddha head took the nearly 2 months to dig. So the excavation site is likely to continue to end March, which determine whether the centuries old sculptures could be largest Buddha had ever. So hills of jewel, Ratnagiri, which means hills of jewel. Ratnagiri meaning it's hills of jewels. In Udia, located in the hillocks in Asia Hill Range in Jaipur and encircled by your rivers Brahmini, Kimira and Birupa and the tributaries. These are the tributaries. So a diamond triangle, a collection of three Buddhists, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri, Lalitgiri. This is a very important question about what is a diamond triangle. Diamond triangle parts are, it's Ratnagiri, Udayagiri, and Lalitgiri. It's located in a 10-kilometer radius, and archaeologists believe that the landscape was a strategically chosen for Buddhist establishment, and over time the larger picture is like ESI Director General said that Buddhist complex, the object was to look out the partially visible archaeological remains as a trace out any Chatagri. Already you have read in about Chatagri. What is, sorry, studies is not working for written. I couldn't write it. But to write like Chaitanya Griya, here it is mentioned. Chaitanya Griya shrine on a complex site. He explained that such shrines have been found nearly sites of Udayagiri and Lalitgiri, and the structure would connect to such Buddhist and sites in Odisha and neighboring states. So stone tablets of different sizes inscribed in Sanskrit using Kutila script and female deities associated with Buddhism, reinforcing the significance of Vajrayana Buddhist center. The Buddha Singhasan, sculptures of Buddhist deities such as Asma Godi, one of the 5 wisdom of Buddhas. What are the 5 with the wisdom of Buddhas? Out of them is Amogha. It's Amogha Siddhi. One of the 5 wisdom of Buddhas of Mahayana and Vajrayana tradition. Ratna Samba have 5 meditating Buddhas. Ashok Bhya was another. Buddhas Ambita was one of the most widely worshipped Buddhists in Mahayana Buddhism. So just have a one type of look what type of rock is used here. What is while Chaitanyagiri kind of scene which 2 nearby archaeological sites have been found. Just have one. Just read once and we'll just give you a small detail. I've already covered everything, but there's just a like a have a one type of brief look so that you can get all the facts. Moving to the next is about the science editorials that Sunday is all the Hindu dedicated all the science editorial to the Sunday. So in first one is about the how the untasted AI tools for TB screening. Students are asked to use. Let me just reach to that page. Yeah. So the Central TB Division has informed the states in the end January to consider the willing of a deep CXR tool only when the state reached out CTD seeking a AI solution to analyze the chest X-ray images. So here the Narendra Modi goal of elimination of TB by 25, which is not able to reach there. It's now it is like it is implemented to 2030. So here the report submitted by a health technology as assessment of India. It's HTAIN. The report is submitted by HTAIN. It's HTAIN. I apologize for not writing about it clearly. My style is not working so that my phone story is already full, so I'm writing it in tab, so it is creating a screen not so smooth, so I'm not able to write properly. So TB using a AI assisted chest X-ray interpretation was posted on a HTN webs and developed solution for ARA QXR from Bangalore and QRI and Genki from Pune Deep Tech. So the two indigenous developed solution are it's a QXR based QRI, it's QARIEI. And Genki from Pune Deep Tech, already mentioned here. So the HTA assessment of new technology tool for cost effectiveness and efficiency in the term of sensitivity and specificity is not mandatory. And like HTA report for approval from Medical Technology Assessment Board by Niti Aayog and involve the stakeholders including itself a programmatic implementations. So there is a ICMR National Institute of Research Technology NIT Chennai before it was assessed by STO, and there is a AI tool Deep XCSR developed by Institute of Plasma Research for use of under the National TB program. Deep X-ray tool only work when the state reach to our CTD seeking AI solution and lies the 100 days TB eliminations for. So basically the Deep XAI tool is routinely used for any site. So the whole article is consist about that 90% there is a sensitivity and 70% specificity from people from older people uh, who are was one of the three AI algorithm that WHO reference been updating, and the QXR technology has been implemented across 3100 sites, 90 countries and 490 sites here. About a Genki has been implemented in over 80 states and 80 sites across 15 states. So just have a look one time this editorial. Next is about the 740,000 global deaths from suicide occur naturally. So 43 seconds of comprehensive analysis reveal the male dies from suicide twice at rate of females, and over last 8 decades the global standard has declined. Mortality rate is about 14% of the about 40% from 15 deaths from 1 lakh to 9 deaths per 1 lakh, indicating the interventions, and for females rate is declined by more than 50%, but it is declined to 34% for males. Next is about the CAR T immune treatment for keeping cancer in remission. So there is a CAR T cells therapy to treat a nerve cells cancer. It's a rare childhood cancer which found 4-year-old still cancer free 19-year later, longest reported cancer remission following use. So she received the therapy from the engineered immune cells called CAR T cells, but it is a user but researchers struggle to it is highly effective in some blood cancers, but struggle to repeat the success in against solid tumors. So the exoplanet's atmosphere shows a unique climate first time he prepared the planet that is beyond the solar system, 900 light years, and the European Large Telescope using the titanium creating weather chemicals, elements like iron, titanium creating a weather patterns across planet atmosphere. So next is about why the India's dilemma over fighter jets. Here's the two planes. It's a F. Let me just. What is the dilemma here about the fighter jets? The fighter jets two. First one is two foremost fifth generation fighter aircrafts is of Russia and US is Su 537. Sorry, it's Su 57 and F-35. Got a lot from attention in Aero India, which was held in the 10 to 14 in Bangalore. Its the station was Elapovo as something like that. So what is F-35? F-35 basically F-35 fighter jet has a single seat and it has a three variants. First one is F-35A. It's F-35A. It's B and C. So A here for conventional takeoff. Okay, like and landing Air Force. B is for short takeoff. It's for short takeoff. And C is for the carrier. And C carrier variant for the Navy and Marine Corps. So in addition, the US programs has 7 international partners and 10 foreign military sales that well into 2080. So January 25, it's a 110 F-35 were delivered according to the Lockheed Martin with a 20 participants program. So the pointing here is the protocol to be followed and first requirement to raise by the services. So what is the status of a Russian fighter jet? It is design agreement to produce FGA, this Su-57. Question can be asked for fifth generation aircraft from which country it is belong. Su-57 belong to Su-57 and F-35. It's belong to first one Russia, Su-37 and F-35 is US. So the Su-57 is used for both countries which has invested 295 million. It's 295 million investment here. And for protected negotiation technology transfer single seater and creation of twin seat variant, IAF preference means to steep a rise in cost. India eventually pulled out of FGA project and decided to go with indigenous FGA, the Advanced Medium Compact Aircraft AMCA. So what are the strength here? Squadron strength. What is the diversity begin? Just have one look. So what is the pipeline? India's ambitious of 500 fighter jet to bulk of them. It's LSCA. Next is about a quantum phenomena. It's talking about it's about a new Microsoft quantum chip. It's a Microsoft quantum chip is called. It's a Mesorana 1 that is made for new state matter, and it's a classical bits in a conventional computer. A single qubit bit represent a more information rather than single bit. So the quantum computer different from choice of qubit. Like example, a Google's Willow chip, small circuit that mimics the properties of atoms in quantum state. So its physical parameter topologically qubits can be win if only they turn out much more reliable than the leapfrog earlier. So topology study is here about the properties of an object that contains continuously when it is stretched but not ruptured. So is a Microsoft researcher Chetan Nayak clarified on the Mr. Aaron for blog that team. It's remember to continue to make a progress in year interviewing. Fundamental tension is independent expert have asked whether. So let's moving to the next is about is why there is a three language policy controversial. So here the education according to the national education policy there is a Union Minister S. Pradhan has launched about three in a non-Hindi speaking state there should be implementation of a Hindi as a compulsory language, and or in another Hindi speaking state there should be one mother tongue. So the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has denied this policy, considering that it is not mandatory to use Hindi as a language. So the NEP firstly, the NEP is like implemented. There is a three language formula concept. It was firstly introduced in 1968. The key difference is here that the back then NEP advocated for Hindi to be compulsory language across nation. So Hindi speaking states were required to teach Hindi, English and modern Indian language, preferably South Indian language, while a non-Hindi speaking state were expected to teach a local religion language, India and English. Sorry, Hindi and English. In contrast, NEP 2020 offer a greater flexibility, like technology not imposing any specific language on any state. It states that the three languages learned by children will be the choice of state, reasons, and of course, it's the student themselves so long. So the three languages are native to India. The children would be required to learn at least one Indian language, not necessarily Hindi. So the policy also emphasizes the bilingual teaching, particularly the home language mother and tongue and English, and conspicuously it places a significant emphasis on Sanskrit as an optional choice of choice. So why there is opposition in policy of Tamil Nadu government? So Tamil Nadu government resisted the imposition of Hindi. The firstly, it was in 1937, C. Rajagopalachari, the government in Madras proposed making Hindi as a compulsory subject in secondary schools. Like Justice Party fiercely opposed it. Two young men, Thalamotu and Natarajan, participated in agitations, died, and become icons of anti-Hindi impositions. So the Rajaji eventually resigned, and the British government withdrew the order. So in 1965, a deadline adopting a Hindi as a sole official language across India's approach. State witnessed the violent protests that led to the death of 70 people and adopted the Official Languages Act 1967. So Resolution 1968 mandated the teaching Hindi as a part of three language. So C. Annamudurai and like first Dravida Munmentra Kazan DMK government adopted a resolution calling for scrapping the three language policy and elimination of Hindi from curriculum Tamil Nadu schools. Since then, the state has steadfastly followed it two language policies, Tamil and English. Major political parties, including the ruling DMK and principal oppositions, and to alter his policy. So in 2019, backlash led the Kasturangam committee to remove the mandatory Hindi learning as a clause from draft. So why there is a three language policy seen as an attempt to impose Hindi. So political parties activists TN view as a three language as a policy as a smoke screen and backdoor attempt to impose Hindi. They argue that practice implementation three language policy would inevitably led to resources for providing additional languages, teachers, and learning materials. Moreover, the Indian government prominent BJP leader have periodically advocated promotion of Hindi. Union budget allocated 50 crore to support the appointment of Hindi teachers in non-Hindi speaking. Critics contended center action do not match rhetoric promoting regional languages. So Mr. Pradhan defended the withholding of funds to Tamil Nadu, making it clear that adherence to three language policy is non-negotiable, and just the center state is. So there is a center state conflict about language policy. They don't want to implement it, but they want to implement for the like if there is a Hindi is also implementing that state, that it is a betterment and shape for the also the people that is local people and the people that is living outside outsider peoples that living in Chennai also get benefited from it. So the Hindi is like a it is diverse in every states. So implementing in that state is for the betterment, and there's a wide scope for other peoples also. So it is not a like a bad decisions about center, but let's see what the myopic visions there of a response of Stalin has accused Mr. Pradhan attempting to impose Hindi as a guise NEP policy. So way forward is that the only viable solution lies in constructive dialogue, practical compromise between the center and state on issues like education, which was transferred from state to concurrent list during emergency. Notably, Tamil Nadu's long-standing two-language policy has consistently outperformed another state in matrix. The gross enrollment should not allow to delay the Samagra Shiksha comprehensive program of education. So yeah, the Samagra Shiksha scheme for refusing the join the Prime Minister's School for Rising India PM Shri scheme initiative. So these are questions. Questions can be asked. This it is very controversial. So also the schemes related questions. Which state is imposing their So next is about the dreams of 20 lakh to have their own fulfill. It's a PM Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana phase, and single day the long cherished dream of the families to have their own house. So in the presence of Maharashtra Chief Minister and Ekanath Shinde, so these are the 20 lakh people have benefited there. So DRDO indigenous submarine plans for go for approval for next month. That's indigenous submarine. Actually, I have marked every important note so that it was not video is not making long, but somehow the details you can't leave all the important details so that the video might be longer. So stay tuned. So the Indigenous Convention Submarine Committee, and the proposal came from its Project 76. There is a 3,000 tons and capable of launching the land attack cruise missile. It's LACMS, and development from its Sarpedo tubes. So the P-76, after the government had a defense ministry, P-76 will be combination with advanced technology ATV, and it's a missile submarine SSBN Arihant series of nuclear ballistic missile. It's a 90 to 95% is indigenous content and with a missile system. So the parallel development is P751 tender for 6 conventional submarine is set to begin for the contract negotiation after long delays. So the deal is estimated around 70,000 crore, way above the benchmark of 43,000. So this P76 program will progress almost in parallel, goal as per plan. So these are for today's news. Almost the slides are longer. Every some pages contains to do newses. So let's have a summary and ending the sessions today. First is about the 8 trapped in Telangana tunnel rescue efforts on. Manipur says are rising for support for push to surrender weapons. Next is about the Nepali PM Oli hoping for invitations to visit India as the first half of 2025. Third is about the IBN ministry plans for to regulate the law digital content. Sakti Dash appointment of principal secretary to PM. Fourth is about the police from Market and student Eklavya schools to go to English medium for class 9. Fifth is about the archaeologist find 1.4-meter tall Buddha in Odisha. Sixth is about the AI stands for asked to use untested AI tools for TV screening. Seventh is about the super fighter jets and quantum phenomena. Eighth article is about the 3 language policy controversies. Ninth is about the Prime Minister Gramin Awas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana phase 2, and DRDO's indigenous submarine plan go to available in few months. So are these are all for today. So ending the session. Thank you, and just check out January playlist if you haven't visited to my channel. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, and every day it will be updated with the Hindu analysis. So stay tuned. Thank you. Good night.